Don't look away tonight, viewers. You're seeing pictures on your screens of an exodus of Hindus, a veritable second partition of India. For those of you who are old enough to remember, jog your memories back to 1990, when you turned your eyes away, viewers, when you decided, I don't know for what reason, to not ask questions. In 1990, viewers, 35 years ago, viewers, you looked away when hundreds and thousands of Kashmiri Hindus had to leave on account of Muslim majoritarianism. Today, viewers, without exaggeration, a situation has developed in Bengal where Hindus are feeling threatened enough to pick up their bags, just their bags, and leave their homes. They're taking nothing else along with them. They're cramming into boats. They're leaving Murshidabad for Malda in the hope that they'll be safe there. Murshidabad, as you know, viewers, is an enclave of Bengal where the Muslims are in a majority. The Kashmir Valley was an enclave, remains an enclave where Muslims are in a majority. I'm speaking plain truths tonight, viewers, because you can't fake this. You can't fake these pictures. These pictures tell you that something is broken in the state of Bengal, where certain citizens no longer feel safe. And this is because, viewers, a culture of permissivity has taken root, has taken hold. And India bloc leaders are saying it's okay. It's okay because Muslims put the Sharia over the Samvidhan. Not my words, viewers, their words. I.e., they put the Sharia over the Constitution of India. These words are coming out on a night, viewers, when we are celebrating Ambedkar Jayanti, the man who gave India a constitution. His views, his legacy is being torn asunder as we speak, viewers. Muslim mobs have been rioting since Friday in Bengal and now in Jharkhand too. This is unfortunate. What is the need to riot? It isn't as if the state is stopping Muslims from protesting peacefully against the Waqf Act that was passed by Parliament earlier this month. In fact, in Bengal, the state has virtually laid out the red carpet. The Chief Minister herself has encouraged the Muslim community to come out and make themselves heard. For added measure, she has even told the community that she will block the central legislation in the state. So what's the issue? Why are Muslim mobs menacingly running around burning government property? Property, viewers, that is built on the savings of ordinary middle-class Indians. Why are they targeting Hindus, ransacking their homes and shops? Well, possibly because, viewers, as I told you, the Muslim community in pockets of Murshidabad and elsewhere in the state of Bengal and in the worst riot-affected districts of Bengal, and now increasingly so in states bordering it, believe that the laws of the land don't apply to them. One would have dismissed such a supposition had it not been blurted out in a chilling manner by a minister belonging to the India bloc in the Jharkhand state government, no less. When asked to react to the mob violence on view, he justified it. Yes, viewers, a member of the Legislative Assembly, a minister who is supposed to swear by the Constitution of India, justified violence because he said that for Muslims, the Sharia is above the Constitution of India, above the Samvidhan. Don't believe me? Listen, viewers, listen in.
शरीयत मेरे लिए बड़ा, ठीक है। हम कुरान सीने में रखते हैं और हाथ में रखते हैं संविधान। मुसलमान कुरान सीने में और हाथ में संविधान लेके चलता है, ठीक है। तो हम पहले शरीयत को पकड़ेंगे, इसके बाद संविधान।
Now viewers, think about it. If a minister is giving license to Muslims to do as they please, to live by the rules of an Islamic state, what do you think will happen on the ground? Well, we know because we're seeing the evidence, viewers. Look at those lines of Hindus that have left. Politics of Muslim majoritarianism has led to a Hindu exodus from Muslim-dominated areas. They're fleeing from Murshidabad to Malda. This is like a second partition. The ethnic cleansing of Hindus from Kashmir is still fresh in our memories, but forgotten by the judiciary, forgotten by the state and the executive. They've never given justice. So viewers, people continue as if there will be no consequences. And certainly, viewers, by what we're seeing on our screens, I don't see any consequences being wrought upon those who have carried out this. Yes, cases have been filed, viewers. Some people have been arrested, but mark my words, in a few days, everyone will be out. And viewers, all we will hear are stories of displacement. They will linger, but there will be no solution. Listen in to the pain that some Hindus are expressing tonight.
को सुरक्षा चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। हम लोग को दुकान तोड़ दिया है, आदमी को मार काट दिया है, ये सब तोड़ दिया है, ये सब चुरा के ले गया, लूटपाट करके ले गया सब कुछ। हम लोग का एक तो घर में जनाना आदमी सब चाचा छोटा छोटा लड़का बच्चा है हम लोग का, कैसे घर में रह के चाकू छुरी लेके घर में घुस जाके मार रहा है। हम लोग क्या करेंगे, कहाँ जाएंगे हम लोग, बताइए। हम लोग
सारे घर जला दिए गई है, सारे दुकानें जला दिया गया है। ये देखिए नजारा देख लीजिए, ये नजारा देख लीजिए, दुकान का लूट कर लिया है। इसका इरादा ही ऐसा ही है। हम लोग यहाँ चाहते हैं अगर शांत रहना है तो बीएसएफ कैंप एक परमानेंट रहना चाहिए। और जो तोड़फोड़ होता 4 घंटे से पहले, पुलिस का कोई नाम निशान नहीं है। और पुलिस स्टेशन यहाँ से एक कदम भी दूर नहीं है।
हम लोग राष्ट्रपति शासन चाहते हैं। यहाँ अराजकता चलता है, यहाँ गुंडागर्दी चलता है। हर शुक्र जब भी कोई जुलूस होता है, शुक्रवार नमाज के बाद इधर आतंक फैलाया जाता है।
Viewers, this is not Bangladesh. Many of these Hindus would have fled Bangladesh few years ago, crossed over in the hope that they would be safe in a land where they would have thought that Hindus were at least treated with dignity. But the fact is, viewers, they're not. They're not being treated with dignity. They're being terrorized. The fears are being compounded by the threatening and intimidating sloganeering of TMC senior leaders. Listen to this one.
থেকে যদি বলতাম জ্যাম করব তো 50টা জায়গায় 2000 করে বসে যেতাম। সেটা এখন হয়নি, পরে কিন্তু হবে। বলে করব, বলে প্রথমে জেলাকে একটু টাইট করি, তারপরে কলকাতার 50টি জায়গায় 10,000 হলে কত লাগবে? বাস এরা আসবে কলকাতায় বসে চিড়ে গুড় পানি বাতাসা মুড়ি খাবে আর একটু বসবে, কিচ্ছু করতে হবে না।
That, viewers, is Sadiqullah Chaudhary, and what he's saying is, viewers, that we will inform Mamta Banerjee. We've done it in the districts, but now we will do it in Kolkata proper. We will block Kolkata. And it's not just Chaudhary. Several others are saying they will claim the state secretariat, the state high court, because they are Waqf lands. They're all Bengal, West Bengal is on Waqf land. All this is being allowed. In fact, senior TMC Minister Firhad Hakim has even denied that a Hindu exodus has taken place, or that Hindus have been troubled, or that Hindus have been targeted. Listen in, viewers.
यहाँ पर ऐसा कोई परिस्थिति नहीं है। बंगाल से बंगाल में ही जा रहे हैं, तो बंगाल सुरक्षित है बोल के देख जाएगा, सारी जगह जा रहे हैं, सब ठीक है। पुलिस डीजीपी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कल किया, हम देखा, जो पूरा कठोर होगा। एक घटना घट गई है, उसको लेके ऐसा कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए। वो घटना ऐसा, इससे बहुत बड़ा घटना यूपी पे इसमें गुजरात में घटी थी, उसके बाद भी लोग चुप था। आज ऐसा क्या घटना जो हुआ निंदनीय है। निंदनीय, जो भी किया वो निंदनीय किया। इसका पीछे कौन है ये निकालना पुलिस के काम है और निकालेगा, मेरा विश्वास है।
Viewers, where is the ecosystem? Where are the so-called left liberals? Where is that entire group of people who constantly talk about human rights and violations? Why aren't they speaking up? Where is the media, viewers? Have you seen this story on the front page of any newspaper that is of any worth? No, viewers, it's a complete blackout. Why? Because these people are so inured, viewers, by their fixed views, by their absolute inability to take an independent line. They are so fixated in their echo chambers. They are so prejudiced that they can't see, viewers, the targeting of Hindus. So, viewers, these reports are being dismissed as BJP fake news. Some TMC leaders are saying BJP is a well-oiled misinformation machine spreading lies with alarming efficiency. BJP leaders spewed hate, spread lies and openly threatened violence to disrupt Bengal's peace. To further polarize the situation, they circulated fake messages on social media ahead of elections. Even as BJP tries to sow seeds of division, Bengal will respond with unity. Viewers, unity. If there was unity, people would not be leaving their homes. The evidence is there. It is in the shape of the wails of Hindu women, in the shape of the cries of hungry Hindu children, and the laments of those who are in danger of losing their homes. This isn't fake news. This is part of Bengal's new reality. And there are enough hard facts to underline that this isn't the first time either, viewers. Dhulaghar riots, December 2016. You may have forgotten, I haven't. During Miladun-Nabi celebrations, Hindu homes and shops were allegedly targeted. Baduria Basirhat riots, July 2017. Following a Hindu teenager's controversial post, mobs attacked Hindu shops and homes. There was retributive violence, not police action. Asansol, Raniganj riots, March 2018. Clashes during Ram Navami. Hindus reportedly fled to safer areas. Degonga riots, September 2010. Tensions over places of worship led to attacks on Hindu homes. That was, of course, viewers, at a time when the left, at that time, viewers, was complaining that people were orchestrating all of this to bring them a bad name. Lok Sabha post-poll violence in 2024. Kolkata High Court criticized TMC administration from failing to protest Hindu voters who supported the BJP. Durga Idol immersion. The Calcutta High Court slammed the TMC administration for discriminating against Hindus. The court's, viewers. The question is, what is going to be done about it? Will the NDA, viewers, and they have to be questioned tonight, even the BJP. You are talking about a Hindu exodus, you are talking about a second partition, you are talking about, viewers, a Kashmir-like situation, and you are doing nothing about it. Sending central troops. What is the NDA's proposed course of action? Law and order is a state subject, and if law and order collapses, if there is a threat to national security, if there is a threat to the unity of this country, the centre must step in. Why is it standing by and watching? Viewers, let's open this up. Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, is here with us. Kanchan Gupta, senior advisor to the INB ministry, is here with us. I want to first begin with Anirban Banerjee tonight. He's a political analyst. He backs the TMC. Mr. Banerjee, I want to ask you, has Mamata Banerjee allowed a situation to develop where our own ministers are now denying the obvious, the exodus of Hindus? What is causing the exodus of Hindus, sir, in a state where Mamata Banerjee says everyone is treated equally? Clearly, some are more equal than others.
Sir, do you know who Shukanta Majumdar is? Throughout your entire opening speech, I didn't hear a single time about Shukanta Majumdar, who seems to be a minister in the union government as well as the state president of the BJP, posting fake news regarding Murshidabad, pictures from other states, from other dates, from other events, and saying that, see, Murshidabad is burning. So you didn't even mention a single time that a state president of the BJP and also a union minister has to post fake news to establish their narrative. Don't you think that is a clue enough that there seems to be a rerun of the Sondeshkhali incident here as well? In Chandeshkhali, we saw the BJP create a similar kind of a plan until and unless Gangadhar Koyal's confession video came to the forefront, and after that the BJP was gone. They were invisible from Chandeshkhali. They don't even speak about Chandeshkhali anymore. Even in this case, if I consider that your argument to be true, if Murshidabad being a Muslim majority district, the Hindus felt unsafe and went to Malda. Malda is also a Muslim majority district. If you think that a Muslim majority district is the point of the Hindus being afraid, then why would they run to Malda? So therefore, this is a simple propaganda by the BJP, not even an intelligent one. I do not know why an intelligent person like you is simply reiterating it. The BJP is trying their level best to create unrest and a riot-like situation. That is their last resort to win the 26 elections. But even that, they are doing in such a crude manner that people are seeing through their fake news, fake posts. Okay. Shukanta Majumdar had to delete his post.
Mr. Banerjee,
the BJP West Bengal official handle posted the same fake news. Then again they had to delete it.
Mr. Banerjee, you're being a little insensitive tonight. There are people, and you can see them on your screens.
No, I am not.
No, one second. Let me just finish. Let me finish. I never interrupted you, sir.
You also said
I never
that
interrupted
only a few
you.
people were arrested. But
I never interrupted you, sir.
More than 200
I never interrupted
people were
you, sir. I never
No,
interrupted you. I said people were arrested, but nothing will happen because there's a pattern.
200.
Mr. Banerjee,
More than 200
look,
people were arrested.
you want to bandy words. I said people have been arrested. I
More
said,
than 200.
but nothing will come of it.
People
And I
have
also,
been
sir,
arrested
and
and
I
more
also,
than
sir,
200 have
had the
been
guts.
arrested.
No, hang on.
Those
I had
two are
the
not
no,
the
one
same.
second, one
But
second.
you have the
I
guts
also
to
had
call
the
out
guts.
Sukanta Majumdar.
No, I also
You
had
have
the
the
guts
guts to call out
in a
Sukanta
state
Majumdar.
where journalist freedoms are actually, viewers, are actually, viewers, circumscribed at a jiffy. I had the guts to say that there are certain ministers.
Do you have the guts to question Sukanta Majumdar over his fake tweets?
Anirban
You
Banerjee,
don't.
one second. Okay, look, either we shout at each other, you speak
No,
over
it's
me,
not about shouting at
you
each
intimidate
other.
me.
It's about-
I know
it's
what has
about-
happened to journalists, sir. I worked with
about-
them.
it's
I
about
know when they were
whether you
made to
can
sit in
question
police
Sukanta
stations for
Majumdar's
48
fake tweets
hours.
or not.
I know what happened
That's
with me. 6 cases were slapped on me for asking
if
questions.
you have the-
No,
for
one
faking-
second.
for
One
spreading
second.
fake
Mr. Banerjee,
news,
I'm not
for
going to get
spreading
into a
fake
shouting
news.
match with you, so I'm not going to do that. I will not bring myself down to that level. Viewers, I
Please
also
bring your
told
level
you,
up
I
so
also
that you
told
can
you,
question
I also
Sukanta
told
Majumdar's
you
fake
that it is
tweets.
very incumbent upon the center to act now. You can't have a situation where the BJP is constantly making accusations saying that there is a Kashmir-like situation. If there's a Kashmir-like situation, it is a national emergency. And the NDA needs to do something about it. There's a Home Minister at the center. There are instrumentalities available. Step in there or leave it. But viewers, I have the conviction, the courage of conviction to ask questions independently of everyone and the courage to state the facts independently of everyone. What you're seeing today, viewers, is an example. What you're seeing today, viewers. One second, Anirban Banerjee. Look. Okay, look. One second.
Would you put a question to him? For fake news?
I have already questioned the BJP and the center, the Home Minister. Listen to me. But you run the state. The TMC runs the state. Law and order is a state subject. You haven't denied. And neither has the TMC denied that things have happened on the ground. Why is the CRPF there? Are you denying that these bicycles and these public vehicles are being destroyed? Who's destroying them? It's Muslim mobs, viewers. Let's say what it is. It's Muslim mobs. And if Anirban Banerjee and his party are scared of losing votes, then viewers, shame on them. But I want to open this up and I want to bring in Mr. Tuhin Sinha to respond to Anirban Banerjee. Anirban Banerjee is accusing your boss in Bengal of lying, of faking news. How do you respond to that? Their standard practice, viewers, the TMC and all its supporters, is to do whataboutery. What about that? What about this? They will never take ownership. And the problem is, viewers, that hundreds and thousands of Hindus vote for Mamata Banerjee. Don't blame anyone else for the problems that are falling upon that community. Ask yourself the question, but respond, please. Respond to Sinha tonight.
You know, the brazenness of TMC is appalling. They had shown a similar brazenness after the RG car incident, the rape incident, if you remember. And apart from being insensitive, these are probably, these have to be the most shameless people on earth. He's talking about one post by Sukanta Mazumdar. For a moment, let us assume that was wrong. I am telling you, at best it was an error of judgment. But do we deny the visuals which we are watching on your channel day in and day out? He's casting aspersions on all the visuals of women fleeing, women saying that, their ponds were poisoned. Are all of them false? The fact is, Rahul, this time it was clearly pre-planned. On 18th February, Mamata Banerjee had, kind of incited right in the Kolkata Assembly. She had incited, she had doled out an incitement to the Muslims that if you are called for protest, will you not go? Then, if you remember, on the day of Eid, she made some absurd statement. BJP wala follow some ganda dharam. Wasn't she apparently referring to the Sanatan Dharma?
Her minister about it, my dear.
Ansari, you have told.
No, 1 second.
Well,
do something about it. You can hang on. You can be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. Choose your side.
It was Suvendu Adhikari.
We don't need any convincing. The visuals are telling us the situation to Sinha. We know what is happening in the state. But what is the centre doing about it? What is the centre doing about it?
I am telling you, Suvendu Adhikari, it was Suvendu Adhikari who went to the court, after which, central forces were asked to take over. And I am telling you, central forces will not only be ruthless, we will contemplate placing central forces permanently, because those areas have become so vulnerable to Hindus. If you remember, 2 years ago, we had brought a rule that BSF can patrol in the vicinity of a radius of 50 kilometers. Why was the TMC livid against that? This is the reason. Under the watch of TMC, under the watch of TMC, all of these border areas have become extremely vulnerable. And in fact, today, Humayun Kabir, one of the MLAs of TMC, should be under the scanner. I am sure he's under the scanner, because last year he had said that he will drown Hindus in Bhagirathi, and
whose scanner should he be under?
Precisely what seems to be happening.
Whose scanner?
Whose scanner? I'm sure he's under the watch. He's under the watch of central agencies.
Which central agency? What are they going to do about it?
I'm sure he's.
What are they going to do about it? Mamata Banerjee doesn't allow a bill to take effect in Bengal. She doesn't allow the CBI into Bengal. What is your central agency going to do? Please tell me. Explain to me.
This is endgame TMC. No, this is endgame TMC. After 2021 post-election victory riots, she got a long rope. The courts had censured her even at that point. Repeated censures have taken place, but this, I think, is the Lakshman Rekha which she has crossed, and she has been an enabler.
But who will apply the Lakshman Rekha, sir? Who is going to apply the Lakshman Rekha? That's the question.
We have applied it,
How?
When we do things, we don't announce it, Rahul. We don't announce it.
Well, I'm waiting, sir. You better announce it. You better announce it, because those people who have lost their homes, who have walked out of their homes in fear of their lives, they need reassurance. They need justice not only to be done, but to be seen to be done. They have to be brought back to their homes. Now, 1 second. I want to open this up. Kanchan Gupta. Look, fair enough. You're saying that there is a process and a procedure that needs to be followed. And we are doing so. Okay, fair enough. Well, let me bring in Kanchan Gupta. He's an advisor to the INB ministry. He's been a long-standing journalist. He has been a person who knows Indian politics like the back of his hands. He knows Bengal like the back of his hands. And I want to bring you in, Mr. Gupta. The Waqf Amendment Act has caused consternation among Muslims. That is what is being told to us. And I'm not even going to the point where certain Muslim leaders from Jharkhand, etc., ministers, are saying, no, you can take your law from parliament and basically do whatever you want to do with it, because for us it's the Shariat, not the Samvidhan, not the constitution that matters. I'm not even going there. But what's your reaction to this talk that, this has caused great consternation among Muslims, and what you're seeing is a natural response to a provocation, etc., etc.?
It hasn't caused consternation in Bengal. That would be a wrong word to use. It has been used by the ruling dispensation in Bengal to unleash terror, violence, arson, murder by a group of Islamists for whom law and order means nothing. and who have actually come to believe that they can run riot without any consequences.
But people like Anirban Banerjee, Mr. Gupta, are saying that the TMC is convinced that the reports of Hindu exodus and other reports suggesting targeting of Hindus is BJP fake news. You've heard Firaq Hakim, who has come out and said nothing like this is happening. Don't cook up stories. What is your response to that?
I think it's beneath contempt to even recognize or accept these absurd statements. There's videographic evidence, there's photographic evidence of Hindus who have fled their homes and taken refuge in school buildings. There are videos of women and girls being transported across the river in the dead of night on boats so that they would not be spotted and stopped or confronted by the rioting mobs. All this exists. So how can they even say that this is fake news? They are welcome to call it fake news, but they are only fooling themselves and not the world. Rahul, you see, you have to understand, you have two prominent Muslim ministers in Mamata Banerjee's government, Siddiqullah Chaudhary and another chap who's in charge of minority education. They have made public statements. Siddiqullah Chaudhary has said that he can bring Calcutta to a standstill by asking Muslim organizations to send their people to the city.
Right.
He has said that. He has taunted the rest of the country. He has taunted the constitutional law and order of the country by saying that this can be easily
We played
done.
out those reactions.
So how do you say that all this doesn't happen?
No, we played out those reactions. There is clearly evidence, as you suggest. Let me bring in Mr. Abbas, and I'll come back to you, Mr. Gupta, in just 30 seconds. Let's listen to Mr. Abbas's response. Videographic evidence exists. You can see it on your screens, Mr. Abbas. I hope you can see the screen. You heard the pleas of the Hindus there. They're shaken to the core. Will you be so as insensitive as others to mock the plight of Hindus by denying that all they are saying is a result of a targeted attack and not because someone is faking it? Mr. Abbas.
Rahul Saab, I completely agree with you on the front that what has happened there. Of course, I am witnessing all the atrocities which are taking place, and this is highly shameful and condemnable.
Good.
I will not.
But I want to ask you then a specific question.
Can I just
you see,
complete
there
my
is
point,
a
sir?
there is no. This,
Can I
you please
complete
take
my
this
point?
question and you can complete it because this is important. At this moment, what you are saying is important. I at least laud you for recognizing there is a problem. So let's at least accept that. At least you have the guts to say what that gentleman has not been able to say, Mr. Anirban Banerjee. He didn't even have the guts to acknowledge that something was going wrong on the ground. Anyhow, I don't want to go back there, but I want to ask you, Mr. Abbas, and this is fundamental. You see, people feel emboldened when the culture, when the leadership evolves a culture of impunity. Now, I want to ask you, a Jharkhand minister, a minister, mind you, JMM minister, comes out and says that, you see, we are not answerable to the laws of this land. We are answerable to the Sharia only. The Sharia is higher for us than even the constitution. Now, viewers, this is the talk that you will hear in Islamic republics. So clearly, the people who say, oh, India is becoming a Hindu Pakistan are lying. The actual fact is that people on the ground believe that they are living in a Muslim Pakistan tonight, viewers.
Okay,
and you are seeing this. So, Mr. Abbas, tell me, why is Rahul Gandhi, why is Mamata Banerjee, why are all the leaders who are sworn to, as they say, secularism silent when a minister of the realm has said this? Imagine any other minister in any other BJP government saying this, they would have been held to pay. You would have been the first one to ask them to resign, to quit. Where are all these people? Where is the ecosystem that you belong to? No, answer me.
I will answer you, sir. Now allow me 1 minute time, please. Same time what you've allowed my friend Tuhin Sinha and Kanchanda. Same time, please. Thank you. I have many points to make. To the Jharkhand minister there, it is unfortunate that he landed himself into this. That man should know that when it comes to Sharia and when it comes to the constitution of our beautiful country, he cannot choose, because we cannot choose between a beloved mother and a beloved father. Both are important to us and must be embedded in our hearts and minds of every Muslim in this country. Second point, sir, I'm glad that we've called out the NDA, and INB advisor is here, Kanchan Gupta Sahab. Through you, sir, I'm glad that you mentioned Siddiqullah Chowdhury for making such communal statement. I condemn him, sir. I think people like those belong to jail. But what about Suvendu Adhikari, sir? You are in government today. Suvendu Adhikari, who said Muslim MLAs should be thrown out of the assembly. But we don't speak anything to that, sir. What kind of duplicity and hypocrisy is this? Tuhin Sinha, you mentioned about RG Kar Hospital, about the rape. Tuhin Sinha, are you aware in Uttar Pradesh government of the BJP that there was a BJP leader among the 8 arrested for raping a minor girl? 19-year-old girl has been raped
Can
in
I
UP,
respond, please?
not just raped, sir. 23 men have gang raped her, but you do not speak of that. Why, sir? Because this is a BJP ruled state? Why? Why are your fingers on the lip today? And today what has happened in West Bengal is absolutely shameful.
what
But you will not do
what-
anything
what
about
about is he
it. We have
indulging in
Border
now?
Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force must and should be there. And you are in power today. Modi ji is in power today. And you must take complete control
Okay.
of the situation.
Good points. Now, viewers, why are they good points? Because, as I expected, they're in total defense of Mamta Banerjee. He says, what is BSF doing?
no.
1 second. What is
No,
BSF
10
doing?
seconds.
No, 1 second,
10
1
seconds.
second. What is
Rahul sir,
BSF
10
doing? What are the
seconds.
central
10
forces
seconds,
doing?
Rahul
Just
sir.
a minute, just a minute.
Rahul sir,
Mr.
10
Abbas,
seconds, please.
look, 1 minute,
10
1 minute. Now let me
seconds,
finish,
10
let me
seconds,
finish,
sir.
let me finish, please. You put your foot so down your mouth that you're going to suffocate. Now just wait.
Absolutely
Now
not.
just watch. Viewers, whataboutery and more
Randeep
whataboutery.
Hooda spoke of
If the
Manipur on
BSF
your
and the
channel.
army have to be deployed
Can
in
we
a
speak of
state,
Manipur also?
if a BSF
Can
and
we
the
speak
army
of
have to be
Manipur
deployed
also?
in a state, if the center has to step in to ensure law and order, why have a state government at all? Why? What is Mamta Banerjee doing there? She's taking a salary. All those great TMC MLAs, MPs are taking salaries. Why?
Rahul, do you know?
1
do
second,
you know
just a minute
central-
now. Don't
no, no,
get
no,
excited.
central
Oh,
forces
just don't get
have
excited.
been
1
deployed
second,
in
1 second,
Tripura
1
as
second.
well.
I'm
You
asking you a
ask
question.
Maharashtra
Abbas
the same
says,
question?
what is the BSF doing? What is this doing? What is that
forces
doing?
have
Where
been
are the
deployed in
central
Tripura
forces?
as well.
Why should central forces be in a properly
Forces.
governed
Sir, the
state
same
of the
question
Indian
was
Union?
Tripura.
The army can't be doing
whereas the
policing
total about
work.
Tripura.
Viewers, that is
It's
why
the same
people
question
elect
that
chief
you asked
ministers
India
so
as
they
well.
can actually run the state. But no, viewers, again, you will have Yogi being dragged into it, rightly or wrongly. You will have other minister being dragged into it from the center. You didn't elect the center to rule Bengal. You elected Mamta Banerjee in the TMC, and she's making a hash of it. But still, Modi has to answer. He has to send in central forces. Is a picnic going on in Calcutta or what? Picnic.
Central forces
speak
were
on
deployed
Manipur?
in
A picnic
Tripura
at
as
whose
well.
cost?
Can we speak
Would you
on
ask
Manipur?
Manik Shah
You
the
talk
same
about,
question?
no, you
Because
talk about
Manipur-
the pogrom in Kashmir and the Abdullah jump up and say,
Manipur, we
we
will
had
not
left
speak-
power 24 hours before the exodus.
Can we
Great. What
speak
did you
on
do when you
Manipur?
came back to power?
Can we speak on
Everyone,
Manipur,
viewers,
please?
seeks out a little rock under which they crawl. And I'm being honest, tonight. You can't look away. You've done it more too often. All too often. Mr. Gupta, let me bring you in also. You're a senior journalist yourself. And you've been very, very open about your views on Twitter. And I'll be very honest with you, some of those views I've really appreciated. So Tushar Gupta, I want you to tell us where the problem is tonight and what should be done about it specifically. Now that Mamta Banerjee has proven she's completely lost control.
Thank you, Rahul. Rahul, first things first, I don't think Article 355 and 356 have a solution for West Bengal. Let's be very clear about it. These are short-term fixes which do not solve the long-term problem, that there are certain areas in West Bengal, Murshidabad being one of them, that are now so vulnerable to a law and order situation that the state police is incompetent to handle that. The spokespersons of the TMC or the representatives siding with the TMC themselves are saying, what is the Prime Minister doing? Where are the central forces? So it's very, very clear that there are certain parts of West Bengal, more importantly, certain parts of our border, which are now vulnerable from a security point of view. This is not about TMC, this is not about BJP, this is about national security, and this is why I do not see a solution in Article 355 and 356. Now, I think the BJP would have also realized in the center that time and again, be it 2021 and now 2024, then 2025, they are required to chip in with the central forces. So I'm saying, why not have a permanent solution? Let's have an intelligent use of Article 3 and Article 239 and see what can be done. Of course, the state government will also be a stakeholder in it. It has to be an important consultant in the entire process. But if Mamata Banerjee, time and again, is proving that there are certain areas which are now a strategic problem, I'm not saying a political problem, a strategic security problem for the entire country because of how the border is, because of how the geography is, because of how the infiltration is, might as well then look at the long-term fix, which is in Article 3 and Article 239. We did that with Kashmir, Jammu and Ladakh in 2019. However, the Reorganization Act of 2019 was very, very different because it involved Article 239A. What I'm suggesting for West Bengal is a long-term fix in consultation with the TMC because they are running the state government there before these spokespersons get too excited. But then I don't see a solution in TMC. I don't see a solution 355, 356.
Well,
what I see a solution is in direct control of the Home Ministry.
I think Mr. Gupta is right. We've reached a point of no return. Kanchan Gupta, you are actually apprehending more problems. You've tweeted, sir, saying that Murshidabad, after Murshidabad, it is Siliguri, taking exception to Mamata giving permission for an anti-Waqf Act protest there. Could you elaborate on your fears tonight?
Yeah, because isn't it obvious? You had so much violence in Murshidabad, subsequently in two other districts. Today there was violence in, over yesterday and today there was violence in 24 Parganas. I can name the places where violence has happened, but that would probably mean nothing to your viewers. But across three districts of West Bengal, there has been sustained violence, with the police failing to take appropriate preventive measures or measures to stop the violence before it turned unstoppable. We have seen how the Calcutta High Court had to intervene and order the immediate deployment of central police forces because the state police had abjectly failed in its primary job of maintaining law and order. And let me also add over here that this particular state government and TMC, they keep on harping about federalism, federal structure, constitutionalism. Well, you know what? Under the constitution, law and order is a state subject.
Yes.
The center has no role in it. It is for the state government. No, 1 second, Rahul. Your viewers should understand the complexities of it.
Fair enough.
The state home minister of West Bengal is Mamata Banerjee. She is responsible for maintaining law and order. She is equally responsible if the law and order collapses in her state on her watch. So now when you ask why have I suggested that tomorrow's rally is undesirable, if you sort of look at the map of India, there is something called the chicken's neck, where the mainland sort of connects with the rest of the northeast of India through a very narrow stretch of land, and it is a strategically important piece of land. It is a land which determines India's national security. You cannot play around with it in the name of politics. Siliguri is not a Muslim zone. It is not a Muslim area. According to 2011 census, all of Darjeeling district had only 5% Muslims. So are we suggesting between 2011 and 2025, the Muslim population has gone up by leaps and bounds, and today you have organizations demanding the right to hold protest rallies in Siliguri, and the administration which has been very prompt in refusing permission to Hindus for
okay, so you're saying that there are obvious double standards at work here. Fair enough. Look, there are concerns, viewers. This situation is not going to improve overnight because there is a lack of will to do something about it. One just hopes, viewers, that the steps that Tushar Gupta has talked about at some level are considered. Because I can tell you, a border state at a time when Bangladesh is on the boil, it's a very dangerous situation, viewers. Very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. I want to move on because the fires of communalism are being lit everywhere. In 2006, then Prime Minister and senior Congress leader Dr. Manmohan Singh intoned that his UPA government was committed to ensuring that Muslims get the first right on all state resources. He said that. In 2023, Rahul Gandhi pledged that soon this was going to be a reality in Congress-ruled states. Now the Karnataka government has decided to walk his talk. It has decided to double quotas for Muslims from 4% to 8%. The idea is to align Muslim representation in government jobs to their population that has grown by a whopping 6% since the last census in 2011. The statistics are going to come up on your screens, viewers, any moment now. In fact, because Muslims are now the largest group among the other backward classes, the 8% quota that the Congress proposes to reserve for them will see the Supreme Court mandated 50% cap being breached. The share of Muslims today in Karnataka is 18% of the population. That's not a small amount. For the record, Muslim OBCs fall under the 2B category of Karnataka's OBC classification, which means all Muslims, can you believe it, viewers? All Muslims without exception have been designated backward in the state. Even the very rich, privileged Muslims are regarded as backward. In other words, the quota hasn't been handed out based on economic or social backwardness, like for Hindus and scheduled tribes, but solely on account of religion. In other words, this is a purely religious quota, which is expressly banned by the Supreme Court and goes against the spirit and letter of the Constitution of India. So the question is, why is the Congress so keen in crossing even the lines that have been drawn in the stone by the Supreme Court of India? What is this? What is this rush to appease? So much so that today Shamanur Shivashankarappa actually, a senior Congress leader, is saying that this census report on which these calculations have been made is unscientific. And what's more, no one came to my own home to collect any data, so it's probably fake. Viewers, can you believe it? Now that all Muslims are regarded as OBCs, imagine what the Hindus and Christians will now feel. They'll feel incentivized. They'll say, if we all become Muslims tomorrow, without exception, we'll get state benefits. So upper caste Hindus, Christians will feel that converting to Islam will allow them to get onto a gravy train. Now this could lead to a demographic calamity. Worried by the development, Prime Minister Modi lashed out at the Congress, saying, if you're so concerned, do more. Listen it.
कर्नाटका की कांग्रेस सरकार ने टेंडर में भी अब एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी के अधिकार छीन करके धर्म के आधार पर आरक्षण दे दिया। इनकी नीयत किसी का भी भला करने की कभी नहीं रही, मुसलमानों का भला करने की भी नहीं रही। अगर सच्चे अर्थ से आपके दिल में मुसलमानों के लिए थोड़ी भी हमदर्दी है तो कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने पार्टी के अध्यक्ष मुसलमान को बनाए, क्यों नहीं बनाते भाई?
Let's go straight across to Dr. Sumansi Raman. We also have Mr. Abbas with us, Tushar Gupta, and of course, we have with us the representative of the BJP, the national spokesperson, Mr. Tuhin Sinha. Dr. Raman, what to make of this? What do you make of this report? Do you believe that it should be implemented in toto? that all Muslims in the state of Karnataka should be regarded backward?
No, there are two things here, Rahul. One, there are several communities within the Muslim faith who are extremely backward. And that has been proven by various data points taken across multiple states, including Karnataka. So, should there be reservation for them under the OBC quota? There should. Having said that, I think that they should have attempted to differentiate at least within the Muslim community, so that I'll give you an example. In the state I belong to, Tamil Nadu, where there has been reservation for Muslim communities, there are certain categories of Muslims who are not considered eligible for those benefits. They are not part of the OBCs. Of course, that's a small number. So I'll give you an example: the Sayeds, the Shias, the Bora Muslims. Some of these communities are not entitled to the benefits of reservation because they are deemed to be better off than some of the others in the Muslim community. So, having said that, do I agree conceptually that they need reservation? Absolutely. Do I believe that there should be a blanket? The same applies to many other communities also, because within multiple communities you have the situation where there are subsects or subgroups that are better off, who are still enjoying the benefit of reservation. That happens in the Hindu communities, Hindu faith as well. But my point is, the quota itself, I do not, whether it will stand in the court of law is a separate issue, whether it breaches 50%, as the Maratha quota did in Maharashtra and was struck down. I mean, these are things which
those are different things, but I take your view.
No, it's not.
I take your view, Dr. Raman. I take your view. I think the point that you're making is there can't be blanket reservation for the entire community of Muslims, because you have to differentiate on the basis of economic backwardness, social backwardness. I think that's a valid point. So that's why I want to now bring in Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas, so why hasn't that differentiation being made? I'm sure you don't need a quota. You come from a fairly good background. We've met in the past. We realize that your economic situation doesn't make you entitled to one, but you've been brought under this. It's obvious that the Congress is doubling over because it knows, viewers, and let me tell you the math here. Vocaligas themselves, the Congress is not getting all the votes of. Neither is it getting all the votes of the Lingayats. So you always need a plus. Lingayat plus, Vocaliga plus. Plus what? The M factor, the Muslim factor. You make all the Muslims happy, you'll definitely get all their votes. So Vocaliga plus M, Lingayat plus M, and you will be in power. So viewers, at the cost of desecrating the constitution on the day we are celebrating Ambedkar Jayanti, the Congress is going ahead purely for vote banks. So Muslim first, viewers, for the Congress, always. No. Mr. Abbas, come on.
That's not true, Rahul Saab. First point you've made, I completely agree with you. I agree with my dear senior friend Sumant Raman on that front. Absolutely, there are no two ways about it. Like Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, many other BJP ruled states which give Muslims reservation under their caste must be brought through. There is no doubt about it. But let us speak of the census now. Siddaramaiah, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, commissioned a census in the year 2014 when he became the first-time Chief Minister. Under that, he claims 95% accuracy in the caste census, 94% accuracy in urban areas, and 98% in rural parts. Not just Muslims are increased from 4% to 8%.
No. The criteria is wrong, sir. That is the question I'm asking. I know that other people are also going to get. No. This is not that. You're drowning this debate in statistics. I am talking about a particular thin edge of the wedge, and I'm asking, why hasn't a differentiation been made? Maybe the BJP would like to get into this. Tuin Sinha, how do you respond? No differentiation made. What do you think is the reason?
I need to make a very important point here. Allow me. Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Haryana.
Please, differentiation. Gujarat also makes it. Please. Tuin Sinha wants to come in. Tuin Sinha wants to come in. Tuin Sinha wants to come in.
Calm down. I've been asked a question.
30 seconds.
Rahul,
you've been taking us around in circles.
The Congress party knows that this 8%. Even the Congress party knows that this 8% reservation for Muslim will be clamped down by the courts. There is no way the courts will allow that, a blanket 8% reservation. But, the worrying part today is the the desperate messaging of the Congress party, the kind of messaging they are sending across to the Muslims, that they are willing to take on the courts, that they are willing to go against the spirit of Baba Sahib's constitution. I think that is the worrying part today, and that
Respond,
is
Mr. Abbas. That's the nub. That's the nub of this debate. Why are you so hypothecated to one community? Please respond.
Okay.
Because they are a fringe group.
Tuinsina, also my friend. Tuinsina, I'm glad that you quoted Ambedkar, sir. Now quickly go to your books and please read Annihilation of Caste. What he has spoken on that. That your finger is on the lip. What Ambedkar said about that.
No.
Now,
I
it
think
is not
Mr.
just.
Abbas,
It is not
please
just
answer the question.
What
is the reason? What is the reason that no differentiation
Your
has
leader
been
Rahul
made?
Gandhi is the one
Now,
who promotes caste.
Allow me to answer. The fact is, sir, SCs, STs, OBCs have all been increased to 75%. And when Basaraj Bommai was the chief minister of the BJP, you
Mr.
broke the
Abbas,
ceiling at
Mr. Abbas,
50%.
are you in favor of reservations? Yes or no?
Definitely.
Definitely. Are you in favor of reservations on the back of economic and social discrimination? Yes or no?
I completely agree with you.
I completely agree with you. Are you telling me that all Muslims in the state of Karnataka are backward?
Ranganath Mishra committee.
No, they're all
Chinna
backward.
Parvati
If it is
Commission,
not the case,
of
if it is
course.
not the case, if you agree with Dr. Raman, then why are all Muslims being obliged in this manner by the Congress?
sir.
Does the Congress,
Okay, now allow me to
its
answer you.
politics
I am
and
a
its
Muslim
interests
in
only lie
Karnataka.
with the Muslims? That's the fundamental
I am a-
question, Tushar
You're not
Gupta.
allowing
Do you
me to
have a
answer.
psephological
You're
reason
not-
for this?
you're
Because
not
I
allowing
think
me to
it is
answer.
because
Allow
of this
me 30
MY
seconds to
and this,
articulate
in
my point.
the north you have this MY.
Allow me 30
No, one
seconds
second.
to
I have allowed you a
articulate
lot
my
of
point.
time. Let Mr.
No,
Tushar
no,
Gupta
no,
come
this
in.
is
You
not
can end
fair.
the debate. No
No,
problem.
no.
Yes.
No, this is not fair, Rahul sir.
What is
Allow
not
me
fair?
30
Mr.
seconds.
Abbas, I've
I
asked you
will
5
answer
times.
you.
You're talking about
I
OBCs. You're talking
promise
about
you
this.
I will answer you. I promise you I will answer you.
Look,
Answer.
Rahul,
Thank you.
I have.
Thank you. Okay, now quickly answering your question. Rahul sir, hand on my heart, I will tell you this. You are absolutely right, sir. There are no two ways about it. Muslim
That's the answer.
reservation
That's
must
the
be-
answer. Tushar
must
Gupta,
be
now
based-
respond, please.
Now, allow me,
Tell me
sir.
why
Rahul,
is the
Rahul,
Congress, even
me.
Mr. Abbas says,
Allow
there is
me.
there is 100% hand on my heart, you are right about it. If I'm right about it, what is making the Congress party bend over backwards constantly for one community? What is going on here? Even at the risk of
Rahul,
alienating Hindus, do they not like Hindus? What is the issue?
Rahul, I have
I'll
two
tell you what
points
the
to
issue
make
is.
in context of this debate. Point number one: for more than 75 years, Hindus were given lectures on secularism. But as 75 years later, we have to offer Muslims, who are now the second largest majority in this country, they are thriving in this country, reservation on the basis of religion. What was the point of creating East Pakistan and West Pakistan? You're telling Hindus, Sikhs, and other smaller communities that first you lose your land in 1947, now you share your resources in 2025. I don't see the logic here. Point number two: every single action of the Congress, the minority sub-quota they attempted back in 2013 in their final months, which the Supreme Court struck down time and again. The religion-based reservation they attempted in Andhra Pradesh, again, which the High Court struck down. The communal violence bill, what they did with the Waqf amendments in 2013, and now what they're doing with the religious reservation in the name of public work contracts. Every single action of the Congress indicates towards one thing. They want to consolidate the minority vote, divide the majority vote, and this is why things like caste census, Jati Janganna, equity, social justice, that is very important for Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi's only hope to win 29 is consolidate the Muslim vote while dividing, confusing the majority Hindu vote. That is his game plan. So every single action in the next 4 years would be towards that one single step.
Well, that is, viewers, is a pernicious politics, opportunism on steroids. The BJP needs to have some sort of a response to this. Will it also abet in a survey? Tuinsina, very quickly, I have 30 seconds. Will you support this move for a survey, or will you say, no, we're against it, we don't want this to be rolled out? What are you going to do?
Which survey?
This one, in Karnataka. What is your stand?
No, our stand is very clear. If the survey is authentic, but unfortunately, the last time a national survey on caste took place in 2011, there were 8.19 crore errors. I think, you don't, caste census is not the only way you can ameliorate, you can, uplift the community.
Okay,
That
look,
is
I've
the
run out of
point.
time.
The point is Congress Party, the Congress Party, I will slightly
That's the
differ from
question.
Tushar.
Dr. Raman, that's the question. That's the question I began by asking. Will the BJP now go in for a caste census?
Will the BJP commit itself to a caste census?
That's the question I asked you, Mr. Tween Sinha. Will you go in for a caste census even at the national level? Will you take Rahul Gandhi's bait?
We are not close to it, but we have made it very clear we are not close to it, but we will do it when the time is right. When we feel that an absolutely authentic caste
here we have it.
possible.
Here we have it. Identity politics is going to remain at play in this country. You can do what you want. I leave it at this, viewers. It's not a very nice place to be in. Let me be honest. But I'll leave it at this. Palki Sharma coming up with the Vantage. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Presented by
Hello, my name is Todd Inman. We had an NTSB GO team that arrived in Albany, New York last night. We're beginning the investigation into a fatal crash involving a Mitsubishi MU-2B40 aircraft in the area. Now, before I go any further, on behalf of everyone at the NTSB, I want to express our sincere condolences for the families, the survivors, the families, and everyone who knew someone that perished in this accident. We're truly sorry. On April 12th, at approximately 12:06 Eastern Daylight Time, a Mitsubishi MU-2B40 with tail number November 635 Tango Alpha crashed 10 miles from the Columbia County Airport. This occurred near State Route 23 and Two Town Road. The flight was being operated as a Part 91 flight. The aircraft had departed Westchester County Airport, airport code HPN, when a crash occurred in what we would call a flat agricultural field. The NTSB does not release information in regard to anyone who may be a victim of any of these accidents. That will be solely left to the county coroner's office. We will not release that in any way, shape, or form. So the question was again about the number of people or fatalities. I can tell you that we have verified there were 6 people on board. I can say that all 6 were removed from the scene. We have no one hospitalized at this time. Any other questions regarding that, I would, again, local authorities and the county coroner. The scene is approximately 100 yards in length, with the aircraft being compressed, buckled, and embedded into the terrain. Now we have recovered and obtained at this point a video of the actual crash in the final seconds. The video, as we've seen in just in the last hour, we were able to retain a higher quality version, appears to show that the aircraft was intact and crashed at a high rate of descent into the ground.
During the approach at Columbia County Airport, the pilot reported a missed approach. He requested vectors for another approach, and as he is being vectored, the radar indicated a low altitude alert. The ATC controller attempted to relay this low altitude alert to the pilot and also tried to contact him 3 additional times. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. There was no response from the pilot, and there was no distress call.
I can tell you that this plane was sold approximately a year ago, and based upon the information and the visuals we've seen, it had a very upgraded what we call avionics package. Compared to the original manufacturer, the avionics package, which would be the cockpit, so to speak, is more advanced. It has a lot of newer technology, and there are certain items inside of the cockpit that have what we call volatile memory, which we have now secured, and we will be using to for lab testing and to provide further information regarding the crash. We do know there was snow on the ground at the time that it occurred. Of course, a lot of that snow is gone now, so it will be one factor we'll look at along with many others. We have talked to some of the family members. This was a family along with some partners of some of the family members that were on board. They had relatives that were in the area, so they were attempting to land at the Columbia airport. They were coming in for a holiday celebration with family. Thanks.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. It's the start of a new week and we are once again diving into a world on edge.